In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I made these fun tickets. Same stamp, two different tickets. Multicolors. Very cool. One after the other. Just fun. So if you want to see how I made these, stay tuned. Hello, Lisa here. I'm hoping you're all having a wonderful and creative day, and I'm hoping today's video is going to inspire you to go out and make some fun, creative tickets for yourself. Aren't those just the cutest? I woke up this morning with an idea, wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, and even though this first batch is not exactly how I was hoping it would to be, I still think they're just adorable. I love them. So let me get these out of the way and let me show you how I did them. I'm just going to scoop them. Easy way, scoop them out of the way. Got to find a container to put these in because, of course, you know, fun. All right, so the first batch that I did, I collaged paper onto a 12 by 12 ugly sheet of paper. Just to save a little bit of time here, I'm going to start with this one. And I'm taking, if you've seen some recent videos, I have these scrap papers that I sorted into strips. So I've got a box of strips, and I'm going to use the strips today to complete this project. Now I was thinking about it, you probably could actually do this project with some washi tape also, but for this project, you're going to start with scrapbook paper. Now, the scrapbook paper that I'm using, I've got just mixed in here different weights of scrapbook paper. Now, I don't want to use like the thicker double-sided. That was one of the problems I had in my first batch. It wasn't really a problem. I mean, they came out okay, but some of the papers that got glued on were a little thicker. Some were a little thinner. So there was places where the stamp, I would say, rippled a little bit or didn't stamp as clearly as I would have liked to. So that's why I'm prefacing it with using hopefully thinner papers and not the thicker papers. So I'm just going to pull a few out here and get this out of the way. Now I had this paper. It's really thin paper. I didn't want to, again, make it too thick, but the other reason I picked this is because it has the grids on here and I can follow along with the lines. So the second thing that I learned in the first batch I did is that I had overlapped the paper. If you've ever made a master board, that's what you usually do. You put a piece down and the next piece will overlap a little bit. I didn't like how that turned out because the overlapping led to some thickness. So, just tear that there, cut it. It led to thickness. Now, again, it made for some irregular stamping. Now, we're going to leave that. And the goal on these is to make them the same height. So we're going to go with this next one. I'm going to put it over here just so the lines aren't all up the same here. Now, if you have scraps that are all different heights, you might have an issue. A lot of my scraps I have were cut from 12 by 12 pieces of paper to make 8.5 by 11. So I have 1-inch thick strips. And I might as well throw this on this end. So they are all about the same. Now I'm going to do the next row to show you what can happen. All right. So, well, that's not going to be helpful. Slippery. All right. So I am, like I said, trying to butt them next to each other so they are flat. Now the other reason that I use this paper is because it was off-white, and any lines that went in between there, I was fine with how it looked. So I'm going to trim that paper down just because it had a white border on it, just to show what I'm talking about. And we'll just trim that down. Okay. we're gonna glue that down. I'm gonna just throw a little, I know it might be weird, but wasn't planning on it. Throw a little ink on there. All right, that's a little better. So I'm gonna glue this piece on. Again, butting it up to the row before it. I can tell I'm getting out of line. It's amazing how fast you can get out of whack here. All right, so let's say I want to use this for the next piece. All right, so it is a tad taller, which I am fine with at the moment. I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix it with the next piece. All right, so we're going to go there, not overlapping there, and there. Okay, so the next piece would be here. Now I'm fine with that going there because, like I said, it would be, it's fine because it's a neutral kind of background. Now, if you did not like that, I would go ahead and like cut that down a little bit to make it a little closer, but I'm just gonna put that on there because by the time you go and stamp and cut it out, there's even a good chance that you could ignore this part that's not touching when you're stamping. I think the more important part is not overlapping. And just to get that row done, I'm going to throw that on there and call this one done. Okay, I have, I might as well finish it. I was say I have another piece that I finished, but I think I might finish this anyway. The other one's been drying, so it's a little less quirky. So I'm going to pause it for a second because I wasn't planning on it because it went faster than I thought. And I'm going to get some paper to do the rest of this. All right, I am back and I grabbed some more papers. And one thing I forgot to mention when I was doing the beginning is I also tried to select papers that weren't too dark because when you stamp over, you want to be able to see the stamp. And this one might have been a little bit dark. But don't be afraid to use some color and some patterns. I mean, I think they turned out excellent. So let's see. All right, you are a little taller, but I think you're going to be okay. And we're going to just glue you down. So, oops. Now, get in there. Okay, corner and done. So this one's a little taller, but again, I am fine with that. So let's see. I have a little used. Yeah, let's use some light green. Okay. The a lot of these papers are from my color journal series, where I made the whack and stacks from too. So even though these are not specifically just one color of, they're a little thick. It'll work good. Okay. Even though they're just not like focused on one color, I think they'll be fun to add to some of my color journals as added pieces of ephemera. Okay, let's put that down there. Ooh, get run away. Now this is a fun way to even make for tags too. If you wanted to cut these out into tags or journal cards, these would be fun to have. All right, I think I'm going to do this one, but I'm going to do it this way, and I'm going to trim this side. Okay. All right, so last piece for this, and I will pull out the piece that I did already. Hopefully it is dried enough so it's not too curly. yeah. All right, so the other thing that I would do, and probably wait for this to dry, is just to, it doesn't have to be perfectly cut, but we're just going to trim the edges off so we don't accidentally stamp past the backing boards for that. So that'll be ready to go. I'll get this to dry, and I'll grab it back, and I'll be back with my stamping stuff. All right, I am back. So here is the other master board that I did earlier. I call it a master board, but same paper. I had typed it on the Grizz. You can see that there is a bit of spacing between. Where I'm fine with, to make sure that they weren't overlapped. I have trimmed it down, not perfectly, but at least I know where the edges are to stamp. So one of the reasons that I wanted to do this project is because I have a ton of stamps that are ticket related that I got, and I really hadn't gotten a chance to use them at all, and I was kind of itching to get a project. So just a quick, I do have the ticket booth from Tim Holtz, number 337, and then I have a whole bunch from Temu. They are just random bus tickets, railway tickets. These are a little bit smaller, admit ones, big day cinema tickets, again, tickets and numbers, big numbers on there. This one I actually had for a while. You could tell I had stamped it on. I actually used this for another project that had some tickets. This one has bigger words, tickets, admit ones, and then this one, you got distracted. You got detached. This is another old one that I had. It had a really big ticket in that. So, all right, so we got those tickets, our stamps of tickets, and then I've got my whole bunch of different size blocks to go. All right, and I'm going to be using my VersaFine Clear Nocturne, which is the darker one. I was thinking about using my Morning Mist one, which is a little lighter, but I thought because there's some of these darker prints, I decided to use the Nocturne. Okay, so let's see. I think I'm gonna, and you can stamp more than one at a time, which can be fun if you can get two that are about the same size. So I'm going to put these two next to each other, leave a little bit of space, so when I need to cut them apart, I have the room. All right, and that is how we're going to do this. Now, on the first one, I did stamp both directions, and it works both ways. So sometimes you don't want to stamp this way because you want it to oops, okay, there's a smudge. You want it to overlap a couple pieces of pattern and not just be a stamp that's on there. I think that's where the fun of these come in play, is that they are multi-colored. Okay, and I forgot, I did have a squishy thing here. I'm gonna get out a wipe so I can clean these off a little bit. Now, if you really want to save some time, you could probably stamp that a couple times and make room for it, as they say, or mass make them a little bit longer, a little bit faster. Okay, all right, let's see what we got in here. All right, I think I want to do, let's see, I haven't done this one yet. All right, let's do cinema and concert. I think I did the concert one already, but let's do this one, bus ticket. All right, those are about the same size. Yeah, these are about the same size. Now, I am using tickets for these, but my guess is you could probably use anything you wanted to create multifaceted the labels, the frames would be fun, and then just putting numbers on the inside of those would be fun. Cute. All right, so I think I'm going to, since like I said, I'm going to do this twice since I have it out, and I'm going to do it this way. All right, nice. Okay. I'd have to say the hardest part is deciding between which ones I want to use. I did try to use some of the ones that were a bit on the bigger side, just because they would overlap the area a little bit better. So, all right, so yeah, let's use this big one. I do have room for another one, so let's use this one. I didn't get a really good impression on this one when I did it on my first go around, but it was mostly because it kept hitting thicker pieces of paper. So I'm hoping I'll get a nice clean edge with this one now that these are all flat. Okay. All right, let's try it here. And that is Cricket. I can tell just by looking at it. All right, not too bad. I could probably get something in there, but again, we are kind of talking about an area that's one piece of paper, one color, and kind of not the whole goal of this. All right. Okay, these were definitely fun ones that I liked. So let's see if I can get this one done separately. Yeah, I like it. Do this one again. And we're going to put it over here. Okay. All right. You're going to be a little thick there, but we can go. Okay, put that one there. Yeah. Let's see how it would work here. Okay. Now I am going to, at the end, cut this apart so you can see how it ends up turning out. So if you don't want to watch any more stamping, then you could probably just go ahead and fast forward to the end. Okay, let's do, you do a couple little ones here. That one be fun. And I like this one with the numbers. Oops. You're probably more the same size. Let's go with that one. All right, let's make a little bit of an effort to make these straight. All right, okay, you two will fit there. Yeah, cute. All right. Put that one a little closer than I thought it was. So we're gonna give it another opportunity. Yeah, all right. Okay, so I can probably, just to speed this up a little bit, I have this really big one, and he's a little bit even bigger than he should be, but I think I can probably get rid of those bottom numbers. Plus, I don't really have my big block out anymore, so yep, we're gonna do that. We'll just push it down with our hands. Okay. Can't see. All right. And I probably maybe get one right in there and one right there. Same size probably. Oh, yeah, that worked. Okay. Let's clean off what I couldn't squish down. My hands definitely got a bit inky after this whole process. All right. So, I think, yeah, let's go. This was a fun one. I like its graphic nature. So, we'll do that and finish it off, and we'll cut these out and show you how they look. All right. Okay. Okay, so close this before I get my elbow in there, which I probably have already, haven't noticed. And we will cut these out. Okay, so the best way I found to do it is just start cutting in one direction and see if you can take a chunk off. And that one actually had a nice line there. And I try not to cut right on the line of the ticket. I like to leave a bit of room on the outside, can always go back and make it a little closer, but I think it kind of leads to the cute, right? And I see like this piece, this piece is the end of something, pulled it off, but since I put it on that grid paper that's beige, can't really even tell that it came off. Now on something like that, it's very cute if you want to go ahead now or later and do anything to get rid of corners or divots in there. I think I have, I'll see if I have one with my hole punch. Like super cute. Okay, so this one is gonna go here. Now, if you didn't want to cut them out, you probably didn't have to. You could just leave them somewhere and cut them as you found necessary to use one. But I kind of like to have them pre-cut so you can see what they look like, because they don't look like, as when you look at it like this, you go, what is that? But then when you go and cut that one a little close, I'll cut this side a little close. When you go and isolate it as its own ticket, it's fun, right? I love them. I love when something turns out better than you had in your head that it would. Cute. All right, so this one doesn't really have a particular border. I'm just going to do my best to kind of give it one. Oops. It ended up being on a line, so the stars weren't as nice as they could be, but like I might just go with these and do something like that, and a little bit of ink on the outside, and there you go. You have a ticket. Cute. There's the one that I was thinking of. Okay, so on these, cut it a little closer to the edge. These have the corner holes on there, so you could either, if you have one of these like corner punches, you wanted to do that, or if you have crocodile or a hole punch and you wanted to do that, you could do that on the sides. In my last batch I had a couple of the ones that had the, I don't think I printed any like that. I had like this, it had the hole on the edge of the ticket, so I used the crocodile to punch the hole in there for those. Okay, all right, so you can go there, and all right, this is the one that was kind of cut kind of close. Not too bad. Fun. All right, so this one was cut kind of close. Now I would not say that they're, I'm going to cut these, put these holes in here. I would not say that they are the strongest, because they're thin paper on thin paper, and as you can see where it was not overlapped, it's a little thicker. But if you're going to be using these as an accent piece and gluing it down onto something, it's going to be that'll give it its strength. I wouldn't necessarily say these are always the best to just plop into a pocket as ephemera. You might have to, if you wanted to pop that into a pocket, you might have to back it one more time. But some of them feel a little bit thicker than others. Some of them, like this one, like I said, bends a little easier because of where it was at. All right, so this one, I'm just gonna whoops, nice big ticket, fun colors, and let's cut the last few. Well, I hope you get inspired by this idea and decide to do something like this for yourself. I think I mentioned earlier, I really like that one. It might be kind of fun to try this with washi tapes as an option. And you probably could do it with thicker cardstock, but it would have to all be the same thickness, not have some thick, some thinner. And like I said, that's kind of where I ran into the trouble with my first batch that I did. And if you don't have a punch, you can always just do that. Cute. I like how it's like split. That's one page, and then there's two different colors there. Cute. All right, last two. So if you like the video, like this idea, a thumbs up would be great. I'd love to hear your comments and thoughts on these. Very fun. And last one. And I can't wait to add these to some ephemera. I'm sure you'll see them be added to some of my tags, journal cards for my color series. That's for sure. So, all right, well, since I showed a lot of these up close, I don't think I'm going to show them again for you. I really do like that one. I like how that stripe one went on there. Too much fun. Sorry about the dirty hands, but that's what happens when you ink. Okay, that is going to be it for me today. I appreciate each and every one of you that has stopped by. And as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye now.